because Shawn is in such bad shape for this match.
Right.
Eric Bischoff makes what I think is a pretty responsible decision.
Yeah.
The WWE is refusing to sanction this match, Dusty.
That's very true. Let me ask you a follow-up question.
Yeah.
Are they still going to put it on pay-per-view?
Yes. So they'll put it on the card.
Yeah.
They'll market it. They'll make packages to like hype it up.
Yeah.
They'll sell T-shirts. They'll pay both of the guys. They'll send Earl Hebner out there.
Right.
The only thing, because it's so dangerous to Shawn Michaels, the only thing that they insist on is that this match involve no rules or regulation.
Look, Stone Cold is on hiatus. We're doing the match.
Welcome to Wrestling Over Everything, everybody. We are a very funny wrestling podcast out of Central Valley of California. I'm Andrew, that's Dusty.
Hey.
I realize that in every video I post, I'm like this. If you look at the thumbnail, I'm like this. I got to figure, there's some sort of imbalance in my posture. Anyway, follow us on YouTube. Subscribe to us on YouTube, I mean. We're putting a lot of shorts up, putting in the work, you know what I mean? And follow us on TikTok. We're ticking and talking, and we're also on Blue Sky, chilling, and Instagram and all that stuff. But let's go with the big three, right? Right, Dusty?
Yeah. Let's run it. Let's run it from the top. Real quick, Andrew, we have to check in. Hold on. Oh, is he waving? He's thinking of it. He's thinking of it. There he is.
Okay.
He's wacky.
Okay.
He's waving.
Good.
All right.
Still good. All right.
I'm going to check in. That's a weekly check-in on the wacky waving guy until that battery dies, you know. We're going to see how long.
You just got to throw it away when that battery dies.
Yeah. I mean, did I buy... Are there more batteries that I could put in the wacky waving inflatable man? Sure. Yeah. But I'm not going to.
He dies along with the bit, you know?
Yeah.
So just to that point, you know, Dusty's birthday was in July. I got him the wacky waving guys, the whole thing. And then my birthday is tomorrow. Well, it's Friday, but I didn't even have to say. Why do I have to explain that? This is coming out tomorrow.
Yeah.
So it is tomorrow. It's on Friday. So Dusty sent me something. Here, I've got it right next to me. So now I have pulled it out of the package. And there's, oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, no. You just bought a torture device for my girlfriend.
I'm trying to make sure that Mary likes me, which is the opposite of what this is going to do.
And there's batteries included.
Yeah. Well, because I don't skimp. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah. So this is a dad joke button. So I'm guessing it's just I push a button and it tells a dad joke and it says, how many does it say there are? It's
preloaded with 100, dude.
Over 100 funny dad jokes. I will be the judge of that. So let's pull one out. Let's see. Yeah. Let's see if it'll catch it on here. Oh, jeez. There's even a laugh at the end.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted that to be. I believe you can adhere it possibly to the bottom of your, you know, there might be a thing to put it so you can put it on your desk.
Under my desk.
Uh-huh. And just hit that, you know, anytime that you're feeling down, there's a lot of things in this world right now, Andrew, that can make you feel down about things. Make some hopelessness.
Yeah, that is true.
You know,
that is true.
But I've just dropped off to you a dopamine buzzer. Just anytime you need it, just boom. You know. Anytime
there's a lull in the cast.
Yeah.
You and I we didn't bring our funny bones that day. We can just.
The wedding I went to was so touching. Even the cake was in tears.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That one didn't have a laugh. He wasn't fully committed.
No, he didn't believe in that one.
Yeah.
That one. Imagine that guy got paid for a day of voice acting.
Yeah. Well, he's maybe
read these jokes.
That might have been the inventor saving overhead costs.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
It's a good idea. You and I are single-handedly keeping the useless crap industry open.
The novelty gift industry held up. Yeah, there were a ton of those, by the way. There was ones that had 600 preloaded jokes. There were a million of them. There was giant dad button dad joke button.
Oh my God.
But that's the one I settled on. So hey, happy birthday, pal.
Listen, man, I really appreciate that. Thank you. Now I've got a full book of Chuck Norris jokes and a dad joke button at my disposal. Hell yeah.
Just any time that you want to clear out a dinner party you're having, or somebody's not taking the hint to go home after they've been hanging out, just break out one of those two things. I've essentially given you guest repellent.
Yeah, especially if like I don't have my classic flatulence going.
Right.
I can just pull out. Did you know Chuck Norris will clog the toilet when he pees?
And then you hear
when he does push-ups, he pushes the earth down.
And then there's a skid as you hear the car leaving the parking lot of your apartment.
Footsteps, and then a screeching car tires.
Yeah, a Wile E. Coyote-sized hole through your door as someone tries to leave. All right.
Oh, my cat officially knocked the tower that I put catnip on over. He's looking for drugs, man. He's freaking out. All right, so this is a wrestling podcast. We've got Triple H versus Shawn Michaels is the match that we're going to break down real quick.
Did you hear about the kidnapping at school? It's okay. He woke up.
There it is.
And so, God damn it. I'm putting that on. I'm doing one of those on my radio show tomorrow.
Yep.
Dad joke of the day. That'll just save me one break that I don't have to plan. So this is Dusty has 101 matches that everybody should watch before they die. This was on the list. SummerSlam 2002, correct?
That is correct. This is also at one time either occupying first or second on my favorite match list. So we can discuss how I feel about it now. It's been a while since I've watched it. So
what is the other one that I like?
WrestleMania 13, the submission match.
Okay. Yeah.
Bret Hart versus Steve Austin. So
Hart and Austin. You're a big blood guy.
Yeah, I'm just look. If there's no blood, how am I supposed to know that these guys really hate each other? Yeah. This is from.
He's got a crimson mask.
It's SummerSlam 2002, which took place August 25th from Uniondale, New York, at the Nassau Veteran Memorial Coliseum. 14,797 people attended live. Buy rate 540,000 for this pay-per-view. There are four.
That's pretty freaking good.
Yeah, there are four really good matches on this card.
Starts off with Angle versus Mysterio. Is that one of them?
Yes, which is on the list as well.
Then we've got HBK versus Triple H, and then the main event of this is The Rock versus Lesnar. I'm guessing that's another one.
That's another one.
What's the fourth?
Chris Benoit versus Rob Van Dam for the Intercontinental title.
God damn.
Pretty good.
Okay.
Pretty good show. So this actually did the exact same it's down about 30,000 from SummerSlam 2001, which did 570,000 buys with The Rock versus Booker T at the top. But that's also Angle versus Steve Austin, and we're like a month after the invasion. So the invasion's still fresh. People have not tired of the invasion at that point. So
Kane and Undertaker versus DDP and Chris Kanyon on that show, by the way.
Yeah, we've watched that show and we watched that match, and it was bad.
That match is bad?
Yeah. They don't give any offense to DDP and Kanyon.
God damn it! Oh yeah, okay, yeah, because they brought DDP over, who's maybe the greatest wrestler to ever live, and they made him just facing the doo-doo constantly. Yeah. And we've both talked about it though, where we were Chris Kanyon fans. I was a Chris.
I am a Kanyon fan. Yeah. Okay. Who better? But and then 2003 SummerSlam, this actually far exceeded it. SummerSlam 2003 only did 415,000 buys. And so that's sort of the slide. We're kind of getting into the slide for WWE at that point. But for this match, this is the return of Shawn Michaels to WWF in-ring action. He did start a wrestling school once he retired in 1998, the first time, and he had one match in that wrestling school against a guy named Paul Diamond, who was a former tag team partner of his, and just very small. Like, you can see it on YouTube. It's not a spectacular match, but he was kind of testing out the waters to see if he could make a comeback.
And by the way, just to tie a ribbon on it, SummerSlam 2003, you don't have The Rock or Steve Austin.
So that is true. Yeah,
that would kind of like explain a lot of the absence of people. I don't even think you have a Lesnar on that one. No, you do.
No, Lesnar
and Angle wrestled Lesnar. Yeah. So you just don't have Rock or Austin at that point.
Yeah, and so the Shawn Michaels famously has to retire after WrestleMania 14. He needs a backiotomy because his back is destroyed at Royal Rumble 1998.
And he literally did go, God, if you're listening, help. Because we'll see him come out with Philippians 4:13 on his shirt for this match. Help!
He had to have... So he goes away, and in his absence, Triple H takes over D-Generation X, has a pretty good babyface run, and then becomes a big heel through 99 and 2000 and 2001. Shawn Michaels makes sporadic appearances in the WWF after he retires. He's like the commissioner for a while, and he's the heel commissioner at first he sides with Vince. And then he turns into a babyface commissioner, and then he just kind of randomly comes around. But he's got, by his own admission, like a pretty big drug problem, and things are not well for old HBK.
Did any of the like anti-authority guys in WWE during the Attitude Era go completely without kissing Vince's feet at some point?
Because
Austin, Rock,
the
Shawn Michaels, I'm sure Triple H was eventually in the
corporation. Yeah, even the Undertaker was in the corporate ministry.
Nobody meant that shit, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's
once you lose Austin, I guess nothing matters. Nothing in the world matters once Steve Austin shakes Vince McMahon's hand.
He sided with the devil himself.
Oh my God! You son of a bitch!
Yeah. So the Michaels is supposed to, because the whole time he's out, he's being paid by WWE. He's still under contract, but he's supposed to maybe come back in 2001. But he comes in and he's like not in great shape, like mentally, physically, he's messed up. And they basically tell him, like, you got to go home. And then, of course, he finds the Lord, Philippians 4:13, as we'll see in our match.
Turns out he was at the bottom of the bottle.
Yeah. He, as Jim Cornette once so eloquently put it, most people will find the Lord once all human beings stop talking to them. So, and good, like, good for Michaels, it definitely changed and helped him out. So, I'm not hating on that particular.
For some people, that's what it takes. I'm not saying it's what it took for him, because I don't know Shawn Michaels. Seems like he's a better dude, than he used to be, but who the hell knows? But for some people, that's what it takes. That's okay.
Yeah. So he comes back in 2002 to, for some reason, manage the NWO. The WWE's version of the NWO. Even though
fucking Shawn Michaels joined the NWO.
Yeah, and he has a beret. Shawn Michaels in his NWO wear is wearing an NWO beret that we need to get a look at. Yeah. And I believe, if I remember correctly, the original incarnation of this storyline was, will Triple H join the NWO with his friend Shawn Michaels and Kevin Nash and Sean Waltman, or will he reject the NWO's offer? Right. That's sort of, I believe the initial premise.
Oh, you mean like every NWO premise?
Yes. Will you join us or not? Then Kevin Nash tears his quad. Sean Waltman gets injured. The WWF NWO is feckless and terrible, so they just shut the shit down. They just shutter it. There you go. He's got the Kangol.
It's so bad, dude. That is only Morgan Freeman can wear that hat.
And Billy Bob Thornton. I don't know if you've seen Billy Bob Thornton.
Billy Bob can pull it off. Yeah. Have you ever seen Joe Rogan wear it? It's hilarious.
So they switch it to, will Triple H go to Raw or SmackDown? Will he join Shawn Michaels on Raw, or will he go to SmackDown? And Shawn is like, hey, if you come to Raw, we could rejoin, or we could reform DX. That'd be pretty sick, right? 2002 DX.
Do you remember how much fucking money we made?
Yeah. And so Triple H is like, yes, I will go to Monday Night Raw. I will join you, Shawn Michaels. And then the night they put DX back together, Triple H turns on Shawn Michaels, because who could have foreseen such a situation, and pedigrees him in the ring. And Shawn takes the weirdest pedigree. I don't think that he really trusted his back necessarily at that point. Like, it's a weird looking bump that he takes off this pedigree. But
a lot of guys take the pedigree weird.
Yeah, I mean, there's a really terrible way to take it. There's a video of a dude who spikes himself on his head, because I don't think he knew that he was just supposed to jump and land on his stomach. But like, Triple H lets go of Shawn really high on the thing, so Shawn could basically just fall down.
He floats to the ground like a feather.
Yeah. And then so he turns on Shawn, and then he's like, you stink, you left, I'm better than you, you're weak now. And then the next week, Shawn is like, all right, well, I guess I'm going to leave if my buddy doesn't want to let me manage him, whatever. And then somebody attacks Shawn Michaels in the parking lot and busts his head through a window. And Triple H is in the ring cutting a promo, and he sees Shawn laid out back there. And then he runs back like a concerned friend, and he's like, whoa, who did this? What the hell, bro?
Who did this to the man that I profess to hate?
Yeah, the man that I like. It feels like they did it backwards. Like, you can't do the pedigree and then the next week have him be upset that somebody else beat him. He's like, yes, you can pedigree a guy, but beating him up in the backstage is far too much for this man that I also hate.
Nobody beats up my friend but me.
Yeah.
Triple H.
So then, to no one's surprise, it's revealed that Triple H is the guy that not only pedigreed Shawn Michaels, but did beat him up backstage and throw his head through the window.
They revealed it via like Ice Cube action movie.
Yeah.
Surveillance video enhance button. It's like,
yeah, just Control E, dude. Is it clear as day.
Why doesn't it initially Control E? Why don't we make the whole picture out of the Control E?
Yeah. Why don't
we give you the blurry one. If you need the clear one, we got that too.
I thought maybe the blurry one, like, there's a little bit of mystery. That seems interesting. Maybe you want to make it harder on yourself. I don't know. Some
people don't like the modern look.
Yeah, I just push the E button if you ask, but never if you don't ask. And I can't ask you if you want me to do it. You have to tell me you want me to do it.
And we it's like a cop thing. You have to enhance if I ask you to enhance.
Otherwise, that's entrapment, bro. That's Control Alt E.
It's fucked up, dude. And it's funny because he's like, who would do this to me, to my friend? And then Shawn Michaels is like, it was you, Hunter. And like literally at this, like right after, he's like, it was you, Hunter. Of course it was me.
You're damn right it was.
You dumb son of a bitch. I can't believe you ever thought it wasn't me.
I
don't know if you remember, I pedigreed you.
And my whole thing is I kind of turn on people. I'm the cerebral assassin.
Also, the silhouette is of a man who has a very distinct, broad-shouldered look.
Yeah. A man who has clearly done a lot of the juice, as they say.
Holy shit. Triple H is huge at this time.
He's then Shawn Michaels is like, the doctors say I'm going to recover. I'm not better right now, but let's say, what about a SummerSlam, bro? We take it to goddamn SummerSlam.
My calculations say that I'll be ready around, I don't know exactly, August 25th.
We need a big match for this show. I'd say I'm probably going to be ready about this show. As long as Mercury's not in retrograde, bro, I will be ready.
I do not believe it is.
I went and saw my guy. What's that? Not Christian? Oh, okay. Well, I'm just learning. I'm new. I'm new around here. You know,
it's not in the Bible. That's not in the book.
And of course, Triple H is coming off of his torn quad. He had torn his quad in 2001. Come back as a huge babyface for the Royal Rumble in 2002, and then everyone remembered, Triple H not that good at babyface. Turns out he kind of is a tough dude to cheer for. He's much better as a heel, and so
he is a good. He's got that heel face, man. Anyway, we'll get to the next thing.
So that's also probably why he's gigantic, because he's coming back like 9 months after he tore his quad off the bone.
Oh yeah, so he probably juiced to the gills to recover from that. And listen, I really truly do not fault anybody for using steroids to recover for things, especially if they're not in like a competitive athletic endeavor. Like Triple H is gonna get money off of, this is a scripted thing. Like he's not actually beating the shit out of people. If it makes it more, it doesn't make you more healthy when you do it and get as big as Triple H is when you're 6'1", 360 pounds of solid muscle.
Yeah, when you got those traps,
Jesus, dude, his chest, bro. I'm gonna find a picture.
So this is again Shawn Michaels' first canonical WWE match in 4 years. Basically, he's had back surgery to fuse his C4 and C5 vertebrae, and he had also had a crushed disc from the Undertaker match. Which, if we ever watch that match, it's the most innocuous looking bump in history. Like, it doesn't look like it's anything, and it just straight destroyed his back. Oh yeah, that's action figure Triple H, dude.
Look at that freaking guy.
Yeah.
And he looks just as big, if not bigger, in this match. Like, he's not just posing there. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
It is, well, you're saying innocuous. Like, the Dynamite Kid almost died.
That's true. Yeah.
Something that didn't look that bad, and it completely changed his life.
Yeah. So we go to the match. It starts. Shawn comes out. It's very funny that he's now.
Hold on, we got to mention.
Yeah.
Because Shawn is in such bad shape for this match.
Right.
His back is all fucked up. Now his face is apparently broken in 16 places. He was jumped by 9 guys in Syracuse, New York again. Yeah. It's too dangerous, Dusty. So Eric Bischoff makes what I think is a pretty responsible decision.
Yeah.
The WWE is refusing to sanction this match, Dusty.
That's very true.
Sure.
Well, let me ask you a follow-up question.
Yeah.
Are they still going to put it on pay-per-view?
Yes. So they'll put it on the card.
Yeah.
They'll market it. They'll make packages to like hype it up.
Yeah.
They'll sell T-shirts. They'll pay both of the guys. They'll send Earl Hebner out there.
Right.
The only thing, because it's so dangerous to Shawn Michaels, the only thing that they insist on is that this match involve no rules or regulation.
Yes.
It's too dangerous for Shawn Michaels for a referee to have any say in what happens here.
Yeah, it's they both had to sign hold harmless agreements. So like no matter what happens, the WWE is not to be held liable, because the hatred between these two men is so intense that yes, indeed, they're going to make you pay $30 for it. They could not do the match at all. But what are we even talking about? What are they going to do? Not do the match?
Yeah, they're going to do it anyway. We might as well put it on TV and make
Look, Stone Cold is on hiatus. We're doing the match. So SummerSlam needs a hook.
It's just so funny that it's like at one point JR's like, the WWE wants nothing to do with this match, and it's like, dude, it's their co-main event on this pay-per-view. They're putting them on the billboard, dog. Like, the only thing that they changed was that the referee can't stop Triple H from bringing that freaking sledgehammer into the ring.
And they'll do it in front of like children. Like the implication is one of these guys might kill the other one. If somebody brought a gun the WWE would be not held liable for that situation.
It's not sanctioned. They can't do anything about it.
So hands are tied. But we'll definitely play your theme music, and we're going to definitely put the lights on it. We're going to have our commentator on there. But whatever happens, that's just between you two fellas.
Yeah.
It'd be awesome if they just had a closet and they were like, the two of you go in there, and then they shut the door, and then in 20 minutes, Shawn Michaels comes out, his face is all busted up, and they're like, "Is Triple H alive?" And he's like, "Yeah." And they're like, "All right, great."
Barely.
Yeah.
That's actually a great match. The premise where you have you bring in what do you call it? Like it's not a closet match or something like that.
Yeah.
Where you build a little structure in the ring, and because what Dana White always says about John Jones, like why he's the best fighter in the world, is like if you put every man that exists in the world in a room, and one man's gonna come out of that room, it's gonna be John Jones that comes out of that room.
Yeah.
So you can play on that premise, and then you just build a big structure. And then you have the guys go in there, and then one of them comes out like all fucked up, and, and he wins.
And they're like, "What happened in there?" And he's like, "The horrors, the unspeakable horrors."
You know what happened in there? Justice.
Two guys figured it out. That's so. That's I love that they do that. The Philippians 4:13, of course, says, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." Right. I thought he could have went with Judges 15:16, which is where Samson uses a donkey's jawbone to kill a bunch of Philistines. That's maybe more the verse that I would have gone with in that situation.
Yeah, or like something from David, like I could do all things through slingshot right in the
Yeah. Shawn Michaels is 37. Whenever he returned to WWE for this match. Looks good. Doesn't look like obviously a dude that's been in the pro wrestling world, but he's in pretty good shape. Clearly he probably can't work out in the same way because his back's all messed up. But he looks good. I think he looks good for a guy who's been away.
That's one thing that I love about Shawn Michaels is he's never been super shredded, freak of nature guy. Even though he's a small guy, every once in a while you get small guys that are still like I said, super shredded or any of that. He's always just looked like I said last time we talked about Shawn Michaels, the hottest guy at the racetrack. He just
right.
He's an attractive dude. He's in really good shape, and I was thinking about it because I'm gonna be 35 tomorrow, so he's 2 years older than I'm gonna be, and I'm feeling it, man. It hurts to move around and to run, and he comes out in. He's got his chaps on. He's got cowboy boots, cowboy belt buckle. He's got a white T-shirt that says Philippians 4:13 on it. He ditches the jacket on the way down, and I'm like, okay, so what are we working with here? Okay, he's definitely going to lose the shirt. He's the Heartbreak Kid. He's
right. So it's going to give the people what they paid for.
So we're also probably going to lose the chaps. So is he about to wrestle in jeans and cowboy boots with a freaking belt buckle on? And hell yeah, he was.
Hell yeah.
I could not do that at 35, let alone 37.
Well, and then it's funny because Triple H comes out in his wrestling gear. Triple H is 33, and like we already said, just fucking jacked to the gills.
Dude, he's huge.
It's insane how giant he is. If you give a dude who loves to work out and take steroids a year where all he has to do is work out and take steroids, turns out it's going to look pretty jacked.
He's going to show up pretty freaking huge. And listen, I saw a picture of Triple H with his shirt off a week ago, what he looks like now.
Yeah.
And it's wild what 23 years will do to a man,
and he had a heart attack, and now he's not on the juice. I'm you got to forgive.
We don't know that he's not on the juice.
Well, sure.
He's still fucking big, but no, I'm not shitting on him at all. He's still in good shape for a man of his age with heart problems, but it's just crazy how 23 years is a long time, quote unquote, but oh boy, can your body change a lot in 23 years,
Yeah, it's and he sits at a lot more desks these days, so
he needs a walking, one of those standing walking desks.
Yeah. I'm gonna say, so this match has three things going for it that I think really help it, which is one, they smartly because I believe Shawn Michaels when he says he didn't know if he was going to come back like beyond this match, because I think he was really worried that he wouldn't be able to do the stuff that he could do before or be as good as he was, and he didn't want to do that. But he did want to have one final match because I don't think he was happy with his WrestleMania 14 match, and he wanted to have a match that his kid could watch. So all that's great. So by booking the match as a no holds barred, anything goes, unsanctioned match, they get to use all the tricks that you can't do in a straight up match. Like they get all the plunder, they get all the extra stuff that you can that you can use to hide some of the deficiencies of a guy who hasn't wrestled in 4 years, who has a messed up back.
I got to be fair. Dusty.
Okay. Fair
rumors of Triple H's bad physique have been greatly exaggerated. I saw a really bad angle. He looks fucking good. How old is he? He's like 50.
50.
He's like 50. He was 32 and he's like 55, 56, right?
Yeah.
He looks great, man. Like I saw a bad angle. I saw a bad angle. Because he didn't look that good in the picture that I saw. So I think like maybe he was just twisted weird or something like that. It made it look a lot worse. He looks great, for the record.
Yeah, and like whenever
Stephanie, for the record, Stephanie looks great too.
Yeah, and well, when people are like bending down and stuff, like even the most jacked dudes, there are angles that don't look flattering.
I think he was like twisting, and it like made his belly protrude in a weird way or something. He looked like a real sack of garbage in the picture that I saw before, but he looks a lot better in that one. And that's from the same day, so I was wrong.
For being 56, for sure.
He looks great,
yeah. So they basically got all the smoke and mirrors they need, right? That is helping this match a ton. Clearly Shawn and Triple H have really good chemistry working together, and they had the psychology of the back to work the whole match. Because I remember watching this live, and nobody's sure how messed up Shawn Michaels' back really was. So anytime that there's an attack on his back, that's been so ingrained in the audience there live and at home that you can hear people being like, "No, not his back."
Didn't you say that Triple H had back issues already at this point too? He had
no,
was it just Shawn?
Just Shawn. He had torn his quad, but he was back from that.
When you said that, I think you were saying Shawn had a fusion surgery, and I thought you were saying Triple H did.
Yeah, okay. Shawn had his back fusion surgery at this point. And then third, they've got Jim Ross calling this match. What a performance by Jim Ross in this match. Most of my notes for this match are quotes from Jim Ross.
I think we have pretty similar notes from this match. One thing I want to talk about, we can talk about this at the end if you want, or we can talk about it right now. Yeah, let's talk about it afterwards, but I want to plant the seed. We need to rank where in terms of television product, Jim Ross ranks in terms of importance in the Attitude Era. Okay. So, but I want to bring that up so we don't forget it. But we should do the match first before we do it.
I thought like they laid it out smart in that the very early part of this match is Shawn kind of getting the better of Triple H because Triple H is overconfident, and then Shawn is using like weapons and his speed a little bit to avoid Triple H early and get the crowd invested, get some pops early on. Like Shawn uses the lid of the trash can. Shawn has like he's basically running the first 4 or 5 minutes of this match just as a babyface. And then
there's a part where he's like sitting on the ropes and he's got the lid of the trash can, and he knows that Triple H is going to come try to pick him up by his hair. So as soon as Triple H reaches over to get him, he hits Triple H in the head with the trash can, and then he does the grab the rope and flip over it thing. He's just being savvy ass, charismatic ass Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, I really like that. I really like the cutoff spot that Triple H uses where Shawn goes for the sweet chin music, Triple H ducks, and then delivers like the gnarliest looking backbreaker, like this swinging, crazy looking backbreaker to Shawn Michaels, and you just hear the crowd go, because and everybody's that's the exact spot we didn't want him to hit.
Fuck.
that's where he's hurt. And it's like that is such a good cutoff move, and then it's a long heat of Triple H just fucking up Shawn Michaels' back. He like whips him into the turnbuckle, and then he hits him with another backbreaker, and then he's just so focused on the back that if Shawn Michaels were a video game, one of those old-timey video game characters where it's their like body outline, you know, whenever you do damage
the
to
whole
it,
midsection is red.
Yeah. The whole midsection is pulsing, and this is where we get some of Jim Ross's terrific commentary, where they're like, Jim Ross goes, now everyone knows Shawn Michaels' history of back problems, and you'll say, JR, it's been 4 years. JR's favorite opponent, the straw man at home.
Oh, they know how to fall.
Yeah. And he goes, now I've talked to people who've had back surgery, and they say it never gets better. And you damn sure don't want to get in the ring with an athlete like Triple H.
There's a part where he goes, Triple H hates Shawn Michaels. He hates our fans. He hates everything that isn't himself. For the love of God, this is a sick human being, folks.
He says Triple H has Shawn in an abdominal stretch, and he's using the ropes as like extra leverage. And he says that Triple H is an executioner with a PhD. What does that mean? Well, he's studied the ways of execution on a doctoral level. He's been to all the classes. He graduated screama cum laude from Education U, or from Execution U.
Why did the burglar hang his mugshot on the wall? To prove that he was framed.
Fuck! He's an executioner with his PhD. By the end, you'll be pretty heavily dead.
That back will be pretty heavily damaged, I have to say. And then Earl Hebner is the referee in this match, and he catches Triple H cheating by grabbing the rope. Now, there's a hold harmless agreement in place.
Yeah,
Earl Hebner is there to basically declare one of these men dead. That's all he's supposed to do.
He's there for the 3 count and to hear if somebody quits.
Yeah. But he starts...
He draws the line at using the ropes.
Yeah. He's like, okay. Well, no, he doesn't just at the ropes. He starts yelling at Triple H, and Triple H is yelling back at him, and then they do the awesome thing that always works for me, where the heel is yelling at the referee, and the referee starts getting really ramped up and starts yelling at the heel to the point where the heel starts begging off. He's being yelled at too hard. And JR goes, Earl has a heart. He has a soul. Earl Hebner can only take so much suffering in the human condition. And he's yelling at Triple H that he's like, you've done the backbreaker, you used the damn chair, now you're doing this crap. I'm telling you to knock it off, man. And Triple H is like, okay, dude. Calm down,
man. Jesus Christ.
I didn't know you were so mad, Earl.
Don't do to me what you did to Brett, okay?
Yeah. He's and then of course Shawn gets DDT'd on the chair, and now he's bleeding from the very specific place that all wrestlers bleed, middle of the forehead, busted open.
It was a really like veteran blade job though. I rewound it to watch. He gets hit to the ground. He gets the blade from his pants. I don't know if it was in his pocket or like behind his belt buckle, or it might have been in his tape, but it looked like he reached like into his pants to get it. And then Triple H picks him up and gets him, holding him in the DDT thing. And they do the classic like magician's misdirection, because he's holding him in the DDT position, and Hebner's like, don't do it, Hunter. And so you're looking at Hebner. Meanwhile, the blade is in Michael's left hand, and that's the hand that's like closest to Triple H's body.
Yeah.
And so he puts his hand up like this and is cutting it as that's happening. And then as soon as he's done, Triple H drops him onto the thing. Like, it was beautiful execution of it.
And then Triple H goes to get a chair. He's going to do the final coup de grace shot, and then Shawn hits him with the sweet chin music into the chair. So now look at us. We got a double juice situation.
And from now on, from this point in the match on, Triple H is completely drunk. He is hammered.
Yeah.
As soon as he's like, I'm going to fucking kill you with this, and then he gets hit in the head, and he's like, you know what, dude? Like, do we have to be fighting? I thought we were best friends. What the fuck happened here, man?
You don't have to call an Uber, dude. I can definitely drive us.
What the hell? Why is Earl letting me do this to you, man? This is fucked up.
Shawn hits a giant chair shot that's really good. It makes a really good noise. Jim Ross equates it to a Jason Giambi type swing from Shawn Michaels.
And I was thinking about, I do think this was at least around the time that Jason Giambi won the MVP, if not the year or the year after Jason Giambi won the MVP.
And now we're into basically the Shawn Michaels stunt show, give the crowd everything they want portion of the match.
2 years after. Giambi won it in 2000. It is the year he went to New York, though, and it was a big deal.
Yeah, Shawn gets a ladder. He does a big elbow off the ladder. He gets out a table, and then he gets up on the top rope, and they're like, Shawn, don't do it. And then he makes I'm crazy, and splashes through the table.
Triple H is laying there on the table going, Shawn, what are you doing up there, man? It's dangerous to be up there, man. Who's sanctioning this shit, bro?
Look, no matter what happens here, we should get tacos after, definitely. That's what I'm saying.
Do you know if they're going to be open after the thing? Can you hear me up there, man?
Really satisfying table break on this one. It's a good,
so good.
It's a good it's a good table smash. The end of this match, Shawn goes for the sweet chin music. Triple H ducks it, goes for the pedigree. Shawn sweeps the legs into a jackknife pin, gets the fluky pin, which I also like. That is in the positive for this match. So Shawn wins in about 34 minutes. And everybody's ecstatic. Nobody saw the end of this coming. That's a really good finish. And he barely gets time to get his hand raised, and Triple H whacks him in the back with the sledgehammer.
He's like, I just remembered why I'm mad at you.
Yeah. Actually, you know what, dude? You didn't pay for one of the rounds. And I've been paying for rounds all night. That's a problem. So he nails him with the hammer, and Shawn's sell of the hammer is one of his all-time. He's like, bah! And falls perfectly onto his knees. He doesn't fall all the way down yet,
Of course.
And so Triple H is like eyeing him up.
Falls like he basically does what I do if somebody puts a ice cube down the back of my shirt.
Yeah, or did you ever hit your back weird and then you had to wiggle it to try to wiggle? Yeah. And then Triple H whacks him again with the sledgehammer, and that lays him out, and that sends Jim Ross over the edge. Jim Ross, for God's sakes, no! Oh no! And,
he's never JR has never hated anybody worse.
That son of a bitch used the hammer.
Earlier in the match, he's like, the cerebral assassin, what sick perverted thing does he have on his mind here with that steel chair?
Yeah.
And he got fucking so well. First of all, by the way, we've got a bunch of, because Shawn Michaels, as we know, always knows the camera's on him. So that's why we got the I love you with Ric Flair.
Yeah.
So when he does the crazy finger before he does the slam, when he does the elbow from the top, he says, I love each and every one of you before he jumps off on this one. Did you see what he said before he got hit in the back?
No, I didn't see that.
He said, praise the Lord. Bang! Right in the back.
Fucking wham!
All this guy wants to do is love his God.
Yeah, look, the Lord giveth and he taketh away.
Hold on. Triple H was like, I wrote Triple H was like, I didn't hear no bell, because I was going on the drunk Triple H train this whole time, because when Triple H is concussed in a match, in terms of in kayfabe, obviously, he is the derpiest, always just frozen, anyway, JR said, I refuse to believe what I've just seen. And he says, Triple H is going to rot in hell for what he did here tonight.
Yeah.
How in God's name can that human being be from this planet? Does he have no conscience? Does he have no heart? Do you have no soul, you son of a bitch? Do you realize what you have done?
I wrote that quote down too. That's an all-time Jim Ross line. How is this human being from this planet?
Dude, HBK beat your ass, and now you may have succeeded at what you wanted to do. Damn you. This is absolutely perverse.
Yeah, Triple H is laughing down the aisle, which I like quite a bit. Yeah. He's doing the drunk walk, but he's laughing. And then he gets to the top of the ramp, and they get the beauty shot of him turning around and doing the smile and the laugh as Jim Ross is like, Shawn Michaels beat your ass. Yeah,
son of a bitch. After one of the most awesome performances I've ever seen in 25 years, for it to end like this at the hands of Triple H is, by God, repulsive.
You know what so I would say Shawn Michaels' comeback, maybe the second greatest comeback of all time. You know who's first?
Jesus.
The J-Man. Triple H. Yeah, Shawn Michaels' guy.
That is true. Yeah. That's a good point.
Nobody hit him with a sledgehammer when he came back. Before.
The stone has rolled away. Now, I see an empty grave.
Yeah.
Do you remember that song?
Mm-hmm.
He's alive.
Yeah.
He's alive. We went to VBS.
Yeah. Well, we know what time it is. Okay.
And they can't do a goddamn... No, you didn't say goddamn. And they can't do a damn thing about it because it's unsanctioned.
when Jesus is walking around for 40 days after he was resurrected, that's what Pilate was saying. Look,
they didn't sanction it.
We signed a hold harmless agreement with Jesus. If he came back, he could do what he wanted.
We knew he was on borrowed time, man.
Yeah.
I want to know who put the cross under the ring.
That's so okay. So I will say in the positive, I still really love this match. I think the chemistry is great. I think the selling from both guys was awesome. The commentary was also off the charts.
Stellar.
In the negative,
Jerry Lawler just kept going, what a low life.
Yeah. Well, Jerry Lawler has a great line at the beginning where he says, what does he say? There's only two things you don't like about Triple H, and it's his face. Which is a great line.
Great.
In the negative for this match, having watched it again with fresh eyes after many years, it is too long. It is way too long. You could have cut a fair amount out of this match, and it still would have been awesome. But that is the double-edged sword of Shawn Michaels, is that he loves, especially whenever he returns, he loves an epic feel, and that generally means a lot of laying down and selling. But I'd say that is a negative for it. It does start to get a little repetitive, like when they have the trash can and then the ladder and then the chair and then the table and then like a fire extinguisher's there for a minute. Like there's just a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. So it is a little bit overbooked as well. I would still say that this is a very good match, but I don't think that for me it holds the number one spot. This got 4.25 from Meltzer. I might go 4.5, but 4.25 is not like egregious for this. I don't think.
I agree completely, but obviously we're splitting hairs at that point.
Yeah,
it's what truly is the difference between 4.25 and 4.5. It's I think I don't know. Like I think maybe when Triple H was in control, it drug a little bit more than anything, but you really needed that. Like you really needed him to beat the dog shit out of HBK for a little while and make you cringe and watch through your fingers a little bit so he could have his comeback. HBK did kind of have 2 comebacks in this match, which might have been a little excessive, but I think the table spot was sick. Getting him into the ring, hitting that elbow turned into a really cool spot when he jumped up from the elbow and he like kind of hulked up from there. So yeah, there was a lot of cool, but I do agree. If you're gonna say anything negative about it, it's very gimmick heavy. It's very like as Cornette would say, very furniture heavy. But it's also long, like you said. But it didn't feel like 45 minutes. It was 34 minutes, but sometimes 34-minute matches feel longer than they are.
Yeah.
So I think it was really good. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, they worked.
JR
really,
is just fucking a genius.
Yeah, they worked a really strong match. And like, there's even like, it is splitting hairs. Like, there is good psychology here. There is like a believable hatred between these two guys. You do really want to root for Shawn Michaels here. Like, he plays a babyface in peril almost better than anybody does. And so it is very good, but it does not beat Guerrero versus Mysterio for me. And I don't even think that it's as good as Angle versus Michaels at this point. And previously, I don't know that I would have thought that, but
I'd say it's as fun. Like, it was a fun match to watch, but in terms of if you're ranking wrestling matches, I would probably put those two ahead of it. I mean, obviously Guerrero versus Mysterio, but the Angle match, like, slightly ahead of it.
Yeah. So that's the match, and it is really good, and it is worth the watch. It's on YouTube in their best of SummerSlam matches. It's like number 7. So just as a quick time capsule of what I did, I believe I probably did all of these things this very weekend. The number 1 movie at the box office was Signs, which I definitely went and saw.
I saw it in the theater too.
Yeah. We got Signs,
12.
Signs, XXX,
saw that in the theater too.
The Things I'll Do for My Country.
Oh man.
Spy Kids 2, The Island of Lost Dreams. My Big Fat Greek Wedding. It's a Cake.
Saw that one.
Yep.
It's a cake. Oh, you don't eat no meat? Oh, it's okay. We'll make lamb.
Yeah. Blue Crush. I don't know if you know that surfing movie.
I remember it. Never watched it.
Serving Sarah, which I've never seen, and I heard everybody had a terrible time making. So, with Elizabeth Hurley and Matthew Perry, I believe.
You know who Hurley's dating now?
I feel like I do, but I don't remember now.
Fucking Billy Ray, dude. Billy Ray
Cyrus.
Oh
man, he keeps coming back. Dude,
it's so weird. It's like Billy Ray Cyrus popped up recently for being an awful alcoholic that was like going to shows and be like, "Don't break my heart," and then 2 weeks later, he's dating Elizabeth Hurley. It's like, what the hell? When you talk about maybe the comebacks, it's Jesus, HBK, and Billy Ray.
Billy Ray, Austin Powers and Goldmember. How about now?
Definitely saw that one. Yeah. Lower the globe.
No way.
No way.
If you've never seen Austin Powers and Goldmember, Andrew contends that maybe the funniest scene in movie history is whenever the big globe hits Dr. Evil right in the junk.
It's the meteor that hits him in the junk. The globe. Yeah. He's standing there. They say lower the globe, and he's standing there already with his hands on his hips like this, and it falls and it lands on his head. He goes, "Congratulations, you've successfully turned me into a freaking Jack in the Box."
and then the meteor hits him in the junk.
Lower the meteor, and Frau screams, "Lower the meteor!" And he's standing with his hands on his hips again, and it hits him right in the nuts. And he goes, "No way, no way."
I don't speak freaky deaky Dutch. We know.
Fuck.
Tremendous.
So good.
Yeah. So I definitely was at the movies that weekend, and then on the way home, I could listen to the Eminem show, dog, because that is not the number. I could listen to the Eminem show or The Rising, which was the number 1 album the week this match happened, the Bruce Springsteen album. But I'm definitely listening to the Eminem show.
Just pop culture was so much better than we just get horse shit now. We argue about.
Yeah, I watch SummerSlam. I go see Signs. I listen to the Eminem show, and then I go home and I pop NFL Blitz 2003 into my PS2. Is there a better time to have been alive than right now.
If 9/11 hadn't just happened, everything would be perfect.
Oh yeah, I was probably still bummed. It's a post 9/11 world we're living in. I'm playing NFL Blitz, but I'm not as stoked on it as I would have been otherwise.
Just mass PTSD.
Yeah. So that's our match for this week. I thought really, really good. And then you wanted to talk about, so Jim Ross in our discussion of
well, really quick.
Oh, yes.
Did you see what happened after this match?
I believe that I did, but I do not recall. Sorry.
Okay, so it's Shawn Michaels might have died, right?
Yeah.
They've got him on a stretcher. They've got him with the neck brace on.
Pat Patterson's back out there asking him if he knows who he is.
I'm sick of these things happening, he's saying. And Triple H is JR is calling for Triple H's arrest and probably execution. So literally immediately, like they get HBK out of the back. Off the ramp.
Oh, yes.
Here comes Fink. Here comes
Howard Finkel. Yeah,
Howard Finkel, and he's got some chip on his shoulder. He's mad at everybody. Anyway, I'm not gonna do the whole Finkel thing, but he's playing heel Finkel, right? And so Trish Stratus comes out.
Hinkle.
Yeah. Okay. That's the worst pun that's ever been.
Nope.
It's not even a pun. Anyway. So Trish Stratus comes out. She comes to the ring, and Finkel is she's pretending to as it's wrestling in the Attitude Era. She's pretending she wants to have sex with the unattractive guy.
Yeah.
And Finkel says, "It's a dog eat dog world. You've got the puppies," points at her tits, and then says, "And I've got my wiener."
Yeah.
This is after Shawn Michaels might have died.
Look, neither one. The hold harmless agreement is over. We can have fun again.
That is true. They're not getting sued, so they don't have to mourn the loss of Shawn Michaels.
Yeah. Look, you can't mourn forever, Andrew.
It's just fucking. I know. So you expect me to just be miserable my whole life? He would have wanted me to laugh at that wiener joke. That is true.
Yeah.
That is true. Shawn Michaels would have wanted you to laugh at that wiener joke.
And then
he probably heard it on his way to the ambulance. Was like,
it's like, ow. It's like, actually, the Lord wouldn't have wanted me to laugh at that joke. Old Shawn laughs at that joke. New Shawn doesn't find that as funny.
Meanwhile, Jesus up there.
I did create Finkel. What can I say? Yeah, and then Lillian Garcia comes out, and they throw the worst worked slap / kick in the crotch I've ever seen. Lillian Garcia falls down, fake kicking Howard Finkel in the crotch.
It's just so epitome of Attitude Era.
Yeah.
You might have seen one of the greatest performers in the history of the business die. You put him on a stretcher, and this is like a year after somebody actually died in the ring.
Like 3 years, but you're
I thought he died in 2001.
No, 99 is when
fuck.
Owen Hart
Never
died.
mind.
Yeah.
Well, you still hear about it. And then 9/11, like we talked about.
Yeah, we're less than a year from 9/11. Think of that also.
So, but they just gotta immediately. It's a Fink Wiener joke. The worst segment you've ever seen. Immediately after this all-time match where somebody might have been crippled. Yeah. So
yeah. Well, and don't forget, we're only 57 years after World War II, WW2, the big one. So people are probably still upset about that. That is true.
100%.
The funniest thing to me in that entire thing, because the interaction is clearly not funny, and I don't know if they were like, well, we need a palate cleanser. Clearly, we can't just go from Shawn Michaels right to Lesnar versus Rock. Let's throw the unfunny Howard Finkel out there to try to do a comedy
segment.
Yeah. But then after Lillian kicks him in the crotch, Trish holds up Lillian's hand to all four sides of the ring to what I will generously call a tepid response. nobody's like, yeah, the girl announcer beat up the boy announcer. I was very invested in this story. And they're like, we just saw a guy get crippled. Maybe, one of our guys might be down for the count.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
It's wild.
Yeah. So,
but all right. So, what your question that you're posing is?
Yeah. So I'll restate it. It's okay. So we know that Steve Austin was the most important of the on camera part of the Attitude Era. At least I would guess that you would say that number one is Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yes.
Okay. So if we go down the list in terms of, like I said, on camera people, how far down do you go before you get to JR? And do you get past number 4? Is it Austin, Rock, Vince, JR?
I would go Austin, McMahon, JR, Rock.
You'd put JR over Rock.
There's an argument to go the other way, certainly.
Yeah.
But JR doesn't make it out of the top 5. He's a top 5 pick in that.
If you think about, it's like he was involved in the most matches out of all those guys. It's like he's the one guy that was there for everything.
Well, and his particular strengths happened to coincide with what was happening at the time of the Attitude Era, because people, even though Jim Ross isn't a legitimate sports announcer, right? Because wrestling is kayfabe. It's not a real sport, right?
I would probably rephrase that, because he is a legitimate sports announcer. He just does. He hasn't worked in legitimate sports. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Well, and he's called college football games and all of that, right? Okay. But he's mainly known for being an announcer in a kayfabe sport, right?
Yeah.
He is the greatest full stop announcer in history. He won't tell you that. He'll say Gordon Sully or maybe Lance Russell, any of those guys from the 70s and 80s.
I'm a big Mauro Ranallo guy.
I'm Mauro Ranallo. As far as importance goes, he's certainly number 1 in my estimation.
I've heard a lot of guys that I really like. I like, me, I love heel announcers. I think Bobby the Brain Heenan is one of the preeminent geniuses in the history of pop culture on camera. I even thought Jesse Ventura was great. Monsoon, like all those guys in the classic era. Like there hasn't, even Michael Cole, man, like people shit on Michael Cole. Yeah. I think he does a pretty darn good job, but nobody spins a yarn like right. JR. Nobody sets the tone like JR. Nobody does such a good job of sounding earnest, where he'll fight with his heel announcer.
Yeah.
He cheers on the good guys. He's heartbroken when the good guys are, and he gets so mad when the bad guys do what the bad guys are supposed to do. And you just don't see that at that level.
He, of course, because he's so smart, he saves his vitriol, the top level of his vitriol, for the top heels in the company, right? Because if he were calling the Road Dogg a son of a bitch who's going to burn in hell, in the third match, then you lose it, right? Like he lends a air of credibility as a legitimate announcer in the crazy world of the Attitude Era, because if somebody were playing into it, if somebody were being funny or being cartoony or going along, like that lessens the impact. Like he's the straight man who has to make sense of all of this chaos that's going on around him, because he had to call a lot of horse shit that would have sounded silly from anybody else, but Ross knows how to make it work.
That's a really good point, because I like Pat McAfee. I know he's a controversial figure in wrestling right now, in terms of, especially like even on camera, off camera, like a lot of people don't like him for whatever reasons. I think he was entertaining and fun and all those things.
Yeah.
He did play along a lot.
Yeah.
And like and that's, that's his style. That's what he does. And like I said, I feel positively about him. But JR just being the guy who, like, he spoke for the listener and he told the listener how to feel about things.
Yeah.
And I talk about this in past tense, like he's still working a little bit with AEW, right?
Yeah, he still will call matches in AEW. And when he calls the main events, he's very, very good. Like, it does add to those matches because Jim Ross does the work. Like, there's a story in Steve Austin's book, I believe it was, where the first match between The Rock and Austin, Jim Ross went backstage and talked to them. The three of them had a meeting, and he's like, what is the story of the match? What are you trying to convey? Give me some idea of what you guys are going to do. And then I can go out and I can sell that as part of the match as well. And like those things working together, you have all of the elements, and it really is the fact that he takes himself seriously and he treats it like a real sport, and he treats it like it's actually happening. Like, he's not winking at all. And it's fine that some guys wink, and it's, there are things that are different now, but Ross is so inflappable as like the journalist you can trust. Like, you're in good hands when Ross is calling this match. Like, he's not going to betray you, and
he has integrity till the end.
Right. And so I think like he's an indelible part of the Attitude Era. It's certainly probably gets super big anyway, but like, what do people remember from whenever the second thing people remember from the Hell in the Cell after just the spectacle of Undertaker throwing Mankind off is Jim Ross going, by God, he's broken in half.
Yeah,
like
that's people like you hear. It's like, for me, like, people make fun of Joe Buck a lot. They say he's a terrible announcer and stuff like that. A lot of that, it's kind of the Nickelback effect. It's like, it's cool to make fun of him, and like, it's cool to hate Joe Buck. I think Joe Buck's a really good announcer. He makes mistakes sometimes, and he's not a baseball expert sometimes, but like, his voice sounds like the playoffs for me, because when I was growing up watching the Yankees in their dynasty years, all like, it would be normal. He would be on like the Fox Game of the Week and stuff like that. But I hear October baseball when I hear Joe Buck calling a baseball game. Like, it just feels right to me. It feels important to me. And it's the same thing with JR with the Attitude Era. Like, I hear JR and I think about the chaos that was happening at that time.
Tyson and Austin. That's Jim Ross. You son of a bitch, when Vince McMahon reveals himself as the higher power. Austin wins the title, and it's, like, all of those things have the stamp of Jim Ross on them, and he was just dialed in, man. He knew the pitch. Like, he knew where he needed to hit. So I'd put him third, and that's maybe a little below The Rock, but The Rock is also helped by the fact that he worked with Vince and Austin and had Jim Ross calling his matches. Like,
I think that's totally fair, and that's not an outlandish. It sounds outlandish, but like, it's not an outrageous thing to say. And we got to give a shout out to Jerry the King Lawler, because he's so good. He's one of my favorite heel announcers. I might put him as second behind Heenan.
Yeah, I think it's well, especially the years that he was doing really good work. Like, not to harp on Lawler, but he did get comfortable, and he's just kind of doing his thing, which is also fine. But like, whenever he was really on, it's probably Heenan, him, and Ventura as far as like really good heel announcers go.
And like, Wade Barrett isn't awful, but it's like, he's not vitriolic, as like, he's not and the King, like, he said everything with like joy in his voice, like, so I don't know. I love Jerry Lawler. I hope, like, we need to find is there a Lawler match on your list?
The concession brawl is on there.
Shit.
And there's probably like, there's an empty arena match that we can watch. There's a lot of old Memphis stuff. The problem is I'm not super familiar with all of the stuff from that era. Like, I know who the players are and stuff, but I don't know if you can get like a cohesive storyline out of it.
That might
you
be
know what
fun
I mean?
for like me to try to research a Memphis angle
Yeah.
and tell you the story, and we'll watch them. We'll do that one of these days.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to. I like the two guys in the ring did an amazing job for this match, but JR was really what stuck out to me.
He elevates. He really does
make it. Man.
He really makes it better, you know. And yeah, you have all of the great components. You know, it's like Jim when Jim Cornette wants to obviously downplay Vince Russo's contributions to pro wrestling. He's like, you've got Rock, you've got the two hottest stars in the business, the greatest heel of all time, the greatest announcer of all time, and the best television production that you can have. Who couldn't have succeeded in that particular
you better have done well.
system, right? And so all of that is integral to the to the success of the Attitude Era, and just to Jim Ross in general. Like he came out with a book about the 50 greatest calls of his career, where he tells the story of the call, and then he tells the line that he said, by God, he's broken in half, and then he tells the story about that particular match or angle or whatever. It's really good. And then you listen to it and you go, man, this guy's called every big moment in wrestling history. He's calling Steamboat versus Flair in the 80s for the NWA, and then he's calling Rock versus Austin for WrestleMania. Like, he really did everything you could do.
He is like the Vin Scully of wrestling, because like when we turn on some like random territory wrestling back in the day, and we watch like the promos, or we watch like an interview, it seems like JR's there all the time. It's like you watch like old Masters golf tournament videos from the 70s, and it's Vin Scully announcing. And like Vin Scully did there was another one that's like random as shit that Vin Scully was on the call for, and I can't remember what it was, but he was just all over the place back in the day, you know? So it's the same thing with JR in wrestling. He seems to be everywhere. And that's one of my favorite things about wrestling is like, as long as there's a little bit of juice behind the promotion that we're watching, a bunch of the guys are going to be the guys that we just see everywhere, because like there is a big small fraternity of wrestling in which there are some very important people that were everywhere. You know what I mean?
The top 250, dude. The top 250 killers. Is
that a Joe Rogan?
Yeah. It's 250 comedians.
There's only 250 good comedians, and I ain't one of them, he said.
That could go up and do an hour. The amount of wrestlers who could work at every territory, probably 250, dude.
I just fucking I just took a drink of this water bottle that was sitting there. And I didn't. My girl must have left it. It's electrolytes, but I couldn't. I was expecting just fucking flavorless water and just salt and sugar hit me right in the mouth. I was afraid for a second. I was making sure that I quit.
I thought you were having a stroke.
I was worried that I hadn't actually quit chewing a long time ago.
All right, so you had a biography, I believe.
I do have a biography.
You wanted to get to.
I do have a biography. So we talked about this guy during I can't remember. I tried to like rack my brain for 20 seconds, and I can't remember where this guy came up. He was during one of the biographies that we did. We saw a picture of him, and he was so striking that I wanted to know who he was. And now I have learned who he is. Today we are, of course, talking about Wild Bull Curry.
Yeah, are you sure that's not Eugene Levy in a Christopher Guest movie?
Bro, this guy, this guy's a guy, man. This is like right up our alley. Exactly what I'm looking for in this type of like this
in this exercise,
this bio exercise that we're doing. Yeah. So he was born in 1913 in Hartford, Connecticut. But he is of Lebanese descent.
Okay.
And he is recognized as the originator of the hardcore style. He predated guys like the Sheik, Abdullah the Butcher, and Bruiser Brody. And this is the shit that I eat up, Dusty. At the age of 16, you guess what he did?
he was working on a dock and met a pro wrestler.
He left high school and joined the circus in order to help provide for his 4 brothers and sisters.
Yep. There's only like 3 career paths in the 19 teens. You're like,
it's blacksmith, gravedigger, and circus performer.
Yep. And if you have a freak face, you can join the circus.
And this guy had those eyebrows.
Yeah.
So the thing that he did at the circus was he was a tough man. So he took on all comers from the audience in a fight. So basically, the circus just hired an ugly guy to fight whoever was down to fight him.
And it wasn't worked? It's
apparently no. At
wow.
First. I'm not sure though, because it says his job at the circus was that of the tough man who took on all comers from the audience in a fight.
I feel like it's one of those things where there's very specific rules, right? Because like if you're doing the circus,
you got to be a girl.
Yeah, yeah. You have to weigh 110 pounds. You can't have all your limbs. That's unfair if you have all your limbs.
We need ID showing that you are not yet an adult.
Yeah, like because if it's not gimmicked. I guess maybe you just lose your job at the circus if you lose a fight, or they go to the next town. Who cares? I don't know. But
by the way, I did confirm the Bill Watts would fire people for losing bar fights.
Oh yeah, Shawn Michaels out of Mid-South territory.
Yeah. So what apparently Paul Orndorff? There's a rumor that he got fired for losing a bar fight, and also Paul Orndorff apparently also might have been like the toughest son of a bitch who ever lived. So
Paul Orndorff rules. He beat the shit out of Vader with the flip-flops on.
That's what I heard, dude. This is like everybody's talking about him beating up Vader with flip-flops on.
He apparently slapped the shit, open hand slapped the shit out of him.
Dude, Leon was a soft soul though.
Yeah,
you know that. Also, Bob Orton Jr. might have been fired for losing a bar fight at some point.
Yeah.
But these are all like maybes.
It's
like
conjecture.
Bill Watts definitely said that. They just like and there's other stories, but I couldn't find one that was good enough to do here.
Yeah.
So anyway, Bill Curry, he's a tough man. He's fighting people at the circus. He had 65 straight wins without anyone getting past 1 5-minute round.
Yeah, see, and I bet it's also one of those things where he's learned like legit like shoot holds to put people in, because like you figure if you're a dude that back in those days, a tough man is just a dude that can't get knocked down very easily, like a Homer Simpson situation. But nobody's
he can carry a lot of wheat.
Yeah, like nobody's training various forms of martial arts, right? So like if you know a couple of submissions or like a shoot hold or something, I feel like that greatly helps your ability to win 65 straight circus fights.
Yeah, so he's this guy is just a fucking maniac, dude.
Yeah.
Like, so he goes and joins the other of the 4 jobs in town. He joined the police department.
Oh, good. That's
That's
the guy that I want patrolling the streets. Maybe he is. He doesn't lose any street fights.
They said he put his tough man background to use in the streets as a cop, quickly earning him a reputation for toughness. He's the toughest guy who ever toughed, apparently.
Constable Bill Curry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a probably apocryphal story, presumably devised by wrestling promoters to explain his nickname, Curry wrestled to the ground a wild steer bull that had broken out of the Hartford stockyard and run wild in the streets.
Hell yeah, dude. Just remember when you could just lie.
Yeah, dude.
You could just.
There's not Ring cameras all over the place ruining everybody's fun.
Yeah, like even in our match earlier, they're like, "This is the first match Shawn Michaels has had in 4 years." Only people that went to Texas Wrestling Academy would know that wasn't true.
Yeah,
and that's 2002.
I mean, Hogan slamming Andre.
You know what I mean? Like a Hogan wrestling Andre for the first time in WWF. Like they didn't sell out matches in the 80s. It's just awesome to be like, oh, he's wild. Why is he Wild Bull Curry? I don't know, man. Maybe he wrestled a steer to the ground. What's that do for you?
He hit him with a jackknife. That steer stayed up. So in the 1940s, he began wrestling in Detroit under the promoter Adam Weissmuller. And he developed his brutal hardcore style of wrestling that made him a top name in the territory. At one point in the 40s, he faced Jack Dempsey, the retired professional boxer.
Oh, shit.
And he went around everywhere years later, like for the rest of his life, claiming that he knocked Jack Dempsey out. But he was actually stopped in the second round.
Oh, no.
Once again, remember when you could just lie?
You could just lie. Yeah, because unless Jack Dempsey is also in that bar, you're pretty good as far as
it's taken a while for that like that. What do they say now? Like people like twice as many people are going to read the story than read the retraction. Like,
yeah.
It's even worse back then. Like the guys that have left that bar by the time Dempsey gets there, out of breath to tell him, I actually knocked him out, dude.
Yeah, well, and just think about like how many people just used to have second families. Like you could just live in another town and have a completely separate family. And
yeah, it's like cats.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. Now it doesn't say anywhere that whenever Wild Bull Curry lived in Detroit, did he claim Detroit or did he live 20 miles away?
He had seen Mile Road south of town.
Okay, so, just for my own edification.
That's what I've heard. So he after Detroit, he moves to Texas, because his eyebrows fit in over there. Everything's bigger, right?
Yeah.
You like that? But he his unpredictable violence, unique look, and intensity made him a star more or less immediately upon arrival. Look at that fucking guy!
Well, yeah.
Holy shit, man!
I mean, okay, so do we believe that those eyebrows are a choice? Or like he styled them that way? Right?
Those eyebrows are. They are. There's no way those eyebrows aren't a choice. Meaning, like, you see them,
right?
So, like, if you don't want those eyebrows, you could do something about those eyebrows.
I suppose so. Yeah, that's.
They are the craziest eyebrows I've ever seen in my life. Like, those of you, if you're just listening to the audio version of this podcast, you have to look up a picture of Wild Bull Curry. Like, it is. He looks like it. Imagine gnarly eyebrows. They're not as gnarly as Wild Bull Curry's eyebrows.
Before he passes away, and I don't wish this because no. I'm talking about
Eugene Levy.
Eugene Levy, who I want to live forever. Comedy genius Eugene Levy.
Yeah.
The fact that there's not a Wild Bill Curry biopic starring Eugene Levy is insane. That's the easiest money. That's the easiest money you could ever make. Like, he really. Well, in that picture, he looks like insane Eugene Levy, but Eugene Levy could play insane,
Yeah, and unfortunately, I'm thinking Eugene is probably a little old now.
Yeah.
Maybe they do a thing where, like, Eugene plays old Wild Bull Curry telling old stories, and they've got, like, Brian Koberger playing Wild Bull Curry as a young guy,
Yeah.
If they can get him out of prison. Because Eugene is 78. You can't do it.
Yeah. It's just...
Like, Eugene takes his shirt off. It's not looking.
Our possibility of eyebrow actors is going away. It's not a...
That's why I went all the way to a mass murderer. You know what I mean? You're not going to find eyebrows like that in Hollywood. There's not a lot of, what is he, Lebanese in Hollywood.
Well, that's such a fantastic, and it's so funny that, like, at that point, just the crazy eyebrows is enough to make this guy a superstar. Like, he's just a dude in wrestling boots and tights, but he's like, you know what my thing is? I have crazy eyebrows.
Well, and he's also just a psychopath,
right?
He was too, like, he wasn't palatable for the main title. Like, they didn't in Texas, they wouldn't give him the big title because he was too much of a psycho, in the ring. They didn't want that to represent their brand. So they created the NWA Texas Brass Knuckles Championship.
Too much of a boy for Crazy Town, too crazy for Boys Town.
Too crazy for Boys Town. Yeah. So he won the inaugural NWA Texas Brass Knuckles Championship in a tournament final against Danny McShane, and then he beat it. He won it. He won that title. I mean, he defended it like 20 times, beating Fritz Von Erich, Terry Bourne, Waldo Von Erich, Louis Tillett, Killer Carl Cox, all spelled with K's, by the way, and Brute Bernard.
Okay.
So, and then eventually he held the Texas version of the NWA Tag Team Championship with Lucas Bertano. But there's like a few stories that I want to tell.
Okay.
Just quick ones. I mean, they're just notes. He was known for like I said, the wild man look, with the eyebrows, maniacal facial expressions, as we're seeing on the screen right now, insane eyes that would scare the crowd just by looking at them. Mm-hmm. In one case, he scared a girl at ringside so badly that she had to be carried from the ring in terror.
Those are also old stories that I love, like that in the original Boris Karloff Frankenstein. When people saw Frankenstein's monster, they fled the theater in terror. And if you watch it now, it's so funny to imagine that, like, in 1931, that was such a terrifying image.
Yeah, but you also got to remember, like, because I was thinking about this exact thing recently. Have you seen the video of the girl at trying to put gas in a Tesla that everybody thinks is real but is clearly fake?
Yes.
And if you just click the comments to that video and look at how many people are like, this is why the world's ending and stuff like that, because they think that this girl is actually trying to put gas in a Tesla in the obvious fakest video you've ever seen in your life. And you can see that, like, because people hear like about the War of the Worlds and they hear about all these things and they're like, man, people sure were dumb and gullible back then. It hadn't gone away.
Sure.
So, but anyway, he was so ugly. He was one of the most hated heels in wrestling.
Yeah.
Other wrestlers refused to work with him because he no-sold everybody's shit.
Look, he's got to protect Wild Bill. Wild Bill Curry's out for Wild Bill Curry.
Listen, he's a bad motherfucker. So in 1955, a match between Curry and Ray McIntyre resulted in more than 140 fans being taken to the hospital after a riot broke out. 140 people in the hospital. That's a mass casualty event, Dusty.
Yeah, and I bet he was so proud. He's like in the next town. He's like, I got to get to 150.
Oh man, he's like, I you know how many marks ended up hurting themselves because I did this.
because I'm so crazy.
All I did was 1956, the next year, Curry was jumped by a fan who was displeased with Curry's brutal treatment of local star George Becker. Curry broke the fan's jaw with a single punch.
I was going to say, probably doesn't turn out well. If that dude can win shoot circus fights, I doubt just some guy's going to be able to take him on.
If a lot of, you know how they say, like, if you're going to be dumb, you're going to be tough. If you're going to have those eyebrows, you better be tough.
Yeah. That's actually Boy Named Sue Part 2 was about Wild Bull Curry.
Yeah. I mean, you can't hurt him.
Yeah.
Like, those eyebrows, they're sentient. They catch the punches. In 1958, during a match with Pepper Gomez in Galveston, Texas, a fan struck Bull Curry with an iron pipe. Curry chased the fan out of the ring, catching up with him in the balcony where he beat him up.
Jesus Christ! Can you imagine hitting a dude with a pipe, and then that dude starts chasing you?
And he looks like this on the screen.
Like all the steps. All the steps that it took for you, where you're like, okay, I hate Wild Bull Curry so much. What am I going to do?
Town.
He's in town. I got to do something. It is up to me alone. The law is feckless in the face of Wild Bull Curry. I do have that. I do have that pipe. The only thing that stops a bad guy with eyebrows is a good guy with eyebrows. And evil eyebrows what's the quote? Flourish when good men do nothing.
I'm the only guy. I'm the only guy with eyebrows enough to do this.
Yeah. And then you sneak your pipe in.
Oh, so what it is? The old phrase is, what is it? It's bad times create bad eyebrows.
Yeah. Hard eyebrows.
Hard eyebrows.
Yeah.
Create good times. Good times create good eyebrows.
Yeah.
Which create bad times.
Yeah. Create soft eyebrows.
Something like that. I don't know.
It's soft eyebrows. You gotta. Yeah. It's so you gotta sneak the pipe in.
Yep.
Then you gotta watch the whole thing, and you gotta stay amped up enough through the whole thing. He's probably drinking the Coca-Cola that still had cocaine in it.
He probably showed enough, like a few guys, the pipe.
Yeah,
like, this is for bull.
Yeah,
it's like when somebody. Have you seen the video of fucking Ovin St. Preux? He visits like I think it's like the University of Tennessee practice, or no, I think it was in Louisiana or something. He's gonna fight. He's at the practice for a football team, and the football coach is like, Who you fighting this week? And he's like, John Jones. And the guy goes, John Jones?
No, I've never seen that, but
it's a fucking great video. It's a great video.
That is emasculating. That's tough.
Somebody turned it into like an edit where it's like, the guy goes, who you fighting? And he's like, John Jones. The guy goes, John Jones? And then it goes to John Jones like screaming.
Yeah. Isn't that your famous line? Please stop hitting me, Mr. Jones.
Please, Mr. Jones. Please stop hitting me. I'm a kind man, Mr. Jones.
Yeah.
Please stop kicking me in the knee. I've got a career.
I don't want to be crippled, Mr. Jones. And so then you get in the ring, you hit Wild Bull Curry, then he chases you into the balcony and then beats you up. What a tough day for that guy. Huge L for a guy who tried to beat Bill Curry with a pipe.
Dude, once you hit a man with a pipe and then he's on top of you, you're because the pipe didn't do anything.
You're right.
You can't do anything better than a pipe.
What are you gonna do?
You gave him your best shot with that pipe. So anyway, in 1968, while wrestling Emile Dupree in Worcester, Massachusetts, a fan jumped into the ring and jumped on Curry's back. Curry punched the fan so hard that he was reportedly unconscious for 2 days.
He Rumpelstiltskined him, dude. Or not Rumpelstiltskin. Who's the dude that slept for a long time? Rip Van Winkle? Yeah, he Rip Van Winkled him, dude.
Rip Van Winkled him, bro. What happened? You missed work last week.
Yeah.
Oh man, I tried to beat up Wild Boar Curry. I got Van Winkled. Of course you got Van Winkled. Have you seen that man's eyebrows?
Are you a maniac? Maybe that's where the phrase "punched him into next week" came from. Like if it was a Saturday and this guy was out for 2 days.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, that's so funny.
The last one, year unknown, during a match in Texas, Curry got a bucket of yellow paint dumped over his head by a fan. I don't even know why we bother with modern wrestling.
Yeah.
This is the coolest shit I've ever heard in my life.
The amount of hatred. And again, you got to buy paint or at least have some at home. You have to find a receptacle to put it in. You have to make it to the show.
I wonder if there was a reason behind the yellow of the paint. Like maybe he's calling him a coward. Because he would do a lot of chicken shit stuff to he's a heel. But like, I wonder if the guy that's what he had. He just like had painted his house.
Yeah.
And he's like, fuck, I hate that Wild Boar Curry so bad, dude. What the fuck do I do?
Yeah. Like, and then you have to sit there the whole night. You have to hope nobody else kicks your paint can over before the match. Now, did it?
He got into the arena with a bucket of paint.
This is truly a pre 9/11 world. Like
100%.
That guy. Well, you have to imagine Wild Bull Curry couldn't have seen that coming because there was a thick layer of cigarette smoke. You know it through that entire arena.
Oh yeah. He had to part his eyebrows to see anyway.
Yeah, the main event of that show was Wild Bull Curry versus Emphysema.
Yeah. He did die. He died of liver disease.
That is unfortunate.
He made it to 71 though.
Hey. Well, he's the toughest.
Like 197 in 1913 years.
He's the toughest man alive.
Dude, you got to see his Wikipedia picture. This guy is just Wild Bull Curry is like one of my. He's like my spirit animal. Look at his Wikipedia picture, dude. Look at that freaking guy, dude.
Dude, yeah, that's those eyebrows with that flat top is a definite look. You know,
it's the thickest hair I've ever seen in my life. You get lost in that hair.
Yeah.
If you like tried to grab his head like in wrestling, your fingers would get stuck in his hair.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is you couldn't punch him because he'd just turn his head down and your head would just bounce off. Your fist
you spend the rest of the fight trying to pull your hand hand off
and then
the top of his head.
Then he hits you with the Van Winkle uppercut, dude. It's all over for you.
It's a problem.
The Rip Van Winkle, not the Rob Van Winkle. That's a different guy. That's gonna put you on ice, baby.
Hey now.
Hey, look at that.
Why was the barber disqualified after winning the race? He took a shortcut.
Oh, that's the worst one.
Yeah.
Just took all the wind out of the sails of the great joke that you just told.
Yeah, my joke is infinitely better than that one.
It's so much better than that. That one was
that's
awful.
Oh man, I'm gonna think about him hitting a guy so hard that he was unconscious for 2 days. Like that guy had a brain injury for sure. You're not supposed to be unconscious that
He's
long.
He's never going to be the same again.
No, that ruined that man's life for sure.
Yeah. He didn't know his grandkids' names.
He forgot how to do math. That's well, and there's like imagine. So one of my favorite things, and this is just a general in the past thing, is back in the day they used to, whenever people died, they would bury them and they'd tie like a string to their finger and there'd be a bell.
The bell.
Yeah, so that
I want the bell. I'm going to request the bell.
Yeah, so like if you had epilepsy, and I like to often think about what because we're a reactionary culture mostly, right? We do something in reaction to something that happened. So imagine you buried your family member and then 2 days later that dude has to break out of the casket that he's in because you thought he just died, because that's all people used to do was just fucking die randomly.
They just die, yeah. Oh man, I guess he died. That sucks.
Yeah. Well, we did all the tests we could do. We put our hand under his nose. We shook him real hard. We said his name. We told him we'd steal all his stuff. He didn't wake up, so we put him in a box. And like then that guy has to wake up, break himself out of the coffin and the dirt that he's in, and now he's up walking around in town again. Like what a maddening thing to have to deal with. It's
that would be like you're just sitting there having a bite, and just a really your really dirty friend walks up.
Your uncle, who you hated anyway and was glad was dead,
he's like, what's up, man? It happened again.
So like, if it were any earlier in time, they might have put that dude in the ground. If he's been unconscious for 2 days after getting punched by Wild Bull Curry, who doesn't think this guy's dead? That's like, true. And
they
then
didn't even know. They didn't even know to put a mirror under his nose.
Yeah.
Breathing.
Yeah. We got to bring back the bell. The bell's a good idea. And is there anything? I've never seen a horror movie where they use the bell. How terrifying would it be in a movie if you buried a guy and then all of a sudden the bell started ringing?
Listen, I love the bell idea, or just like a light. You got a little light that turns red when they push the button from the inside.
That's
the lights turn red.
Fuck, dude. Oh man, turns out he just got punched real hard. That is proprietary to the Wrestling Over Everything podcast. No one could use that idea for anything. If
you make the horror movie called The Bell, then we're chasing you. We're chasing your ass down, hit you with a metal pipe.
You owe us. All right. So for next week, I have a pitch for you, Andrew. I found this on YouTube the other day. I really want to watch it. I watched it when it came out. There is an MTV show. Do you remember the MTV I Am series? I am a BMX biker. I am
so it's like, is that like True Life?
True Life. I Am
True
X.
Life,
Yeah. There's True Life, I Want to Be a Pro Wrestler from 1999.
Do we recognize the guy?
The guy who it is? No, but it follows Triple H in China. It follows Tony Atlas, who's a washed up wrestler, and then it's a dude from Jersey who wants to become a pro wrestler, and he goes to wrestling school. And
I'm down, dude.
Dude, I watched it not too long ago because I just found it on YouTube. It's like an hour long. It's so funny. The dude who wants to be a pro wrestler is such a New Jersey dude for 2000, for the year 2000, and Triple H is like, you can see why Triple H was never a good guy. You know,
I wonder if we would get away with Mystery Science theatering this one.
Oh, that'd be a fun idea.
I gotta look it up. So everybody listening, I'm constantly trying to finagle YouTube copyright law because I want to do us watching JR's Best Calls.
Yeah,
I think that would be really hard. But since this one is like owned by MTV, and I don't know how much they're really trolling the internet to get rid of like old True Life episodes.
Yeah, it's just up on YouTube on some random person's channel.
we might be able to do it because especially if the random. One thing that I found is if I find somebody who has already like done the work to like change the video enough to not get caught, I can use that video and I don't get caught. So like, if we can, I think that might be fun to try to Mystery Science theater it. But
yeah, you look into it. But either way, I think we should watch that because it's such a time capsule for what WWE was at the time. It's got all the Attitude Era wacky characters in it, and then it's got Tony Atlas, which is kind of sad, but he's running like an indie wrestling show, and then it's got the guy training to be a wrestler, but Les Thornton or Les Thatcher is the guy who runs the wrestling school, and that guy is such a character. Like it's really funny, and it's got a lot of good stuff in it.
Okay, well, I'm in. By the way, shout out to the guy who commented on our wrestling on our Vince McMahon's face short. He said he can still kick the shit out of you two dorks.
I don't think he could.
I responded with, no, he can't.
Look, Vince might still be strong, but he is still old.
Is it wrong to be strong?
Is it wrong to be strong?
We all saw that WrestleMania 38 match. Like,
yeah,
I would kill that man. And in his prime, sure.
Yeah.
Even 10 years ago, sure. I understand.
Also,
he's a shell of a human being.
Not for nothing, who's white knighting Vince McMahon?
Well, another guy said, what are you going to look like winning if you make his age? And I said, do you think he looks like that because he got old?
And not because the gypsy he made a deal with has retracted the deal. Someone came in and broke the amulet that holds his actual heart in it, and so broke the 7 Horcruxes. Like, yeah, it's a tough look for old.
Yeah,
there's
Vinny. Not enough garlic in the world to reverse that one.
You know
what I mean? We've got. Hold on, I wanted to show you this one last picture of Wild Bull Curry. I don't know why that guy's in like a little old timey like bathtub thing. But...
he got body slammed in it. Obviously by Wild Bull Curry.
And I think Bull Curry's like pouring kerosene on him or something. He's like pouring.
Probably. He's a madman.
I think Dad.
Yeah, that's very funny. I'm very glad because Wild Bull Curry is a blind spot for me. I know the name, but I didn't know anything about him. So,
he's in the rafters for us.
Yeah. He's going in the Wrestling Over Everything Hall of Fame. So join us next week as we go in the time capsule back to 1999. True Life. I'm a pro wrestler. We're gonna watch it. We'll figure it out in some format. But that's what's happening next week. Thank you to everybody who listens. Like Andrew said, thank you to everybody who comments, even things like we couldn't beat up a man in his 80s. We still appreciate the comments. And we're wrestling over everything. Bye, everybody.
Was he gonna do out drive poorly me?